Good evening, everybody. Kalla here. Welcome to my stream. Glad you could make it today. And so, today's game is going to be more Nina Aquila Legal. This is day 2 of episode 3. So, let's see what the day has in store for us, eh? And hello, Kevin. Let's also see if I can remember the voices that I did for various characters, which I don't think I can quite remember, but let's find out. Aquila Defense and Law Officers, January 7th, 8:07 a.m. Phew. Are you finished? Dylan? I crashed here again, remember? Look, if you're ready, I need to use the shower before we go to court. Aquila Defense and Law Officers, January 7th, 8:34 a.m. You ready? Good to go, boss. Okay, time to go to the courthouse. Courthouse. District Courthouse, Courtroom B, January 7th, 8:55 a.m. Great, looks like Ren is already here. Let's meet up with him, then go to the bench. Get to the bench, even. Hi, Ren. Nina! I got here on time. Where do I sit? That's actually something I wanted to ask you about, Ren. Do you think you can keep a cool head throughout the trial? I mean, I guess. Why? Yesterday, something became very obvious to me. You know cars, and we don't. That potentially makes you our new expert if you feel up to it. You really want my help? Only if you can pull yourself together and stay that way. Nina, don't you think you're being a bit harsh? I'm being direct. There's a lot riding on this, and we don't have the luxury of time. Think you can do it? Won't even bend a fender. I'll be your expert. Great. Isn't there only 2 seats up here? Is here okay? That's great, Ren. Is it okay to have experts right on the bench like this? Yeah, it's permitted, if some aspect of the case requires specialist knowledge. Anya used to do this all the time. What was my chat voice? Hello again, Miss Aquila. Nope, that's not my chat voice. That's closer to the judge voice. Hello again, Miss Aquila. I don't think I remember what my chat voice was. Oh well. I see you have a new face on the bench. Chad? Did you feel you needed to bring in some extra help? You can say what you want, Chad. But I came here today with a car expert. You, on the other hand, don't even drive. Good one, Nina. You think so? I thought so. You're right, I don't drive. I prosecute. I think his was better. Are they always like this? From what I've observed, yes. I'm standing right here, you know. All rise for the Honourable Judge Tawney. Please be seated. No. Please be seated. Damn! What was my Tony voice? Please be seated. We're here today. Miss Aquila, I see you are joined at the bench by another advisor. Can you explain this before we begin? Yes, Your Honour. This man is Stan Renson, or Ren to his friends. He's an expert on automobile... Nope. Try that one again. He's an expert on automobile design, maintenance, and wow! Words today! Big words. He's an expert on automobile design, maintenance, and construction. The defence requests his presence due to the nature of this case. Your Honour. Strictly speaking, counsel can invite anyone to the bench, as long as they are not disruptive. In the interests of expediency, the prosecution would like to voice that we have no objections. Expediency? Whatever he's got, he must be quite confident in it. Very well. We are here today in the observance of an unusual case. 3 individuals are to be tried concurrently. Keisuke Akagi, also known as the Ace of Diamonds. Hank Castle, also known as the Ace of Hearts. And Jocelyn Montefiore, also known as the Ace of Clubs. These individuals were involved in actions which led to the death of Clara Mass, a wealthy socialite, also known as the Ace of Spades. Collectively, they stand accused of murder by reckless endangerment, involuntary manslaughter, as well as murder in the first degree. What the? Murder in the first degree? Nina, is the judge suggesting that one of the aces intentionally killed Clara Mass? I don't understand it either. I'd like to continue, Miss Aquila. Apologies, Your Honour. Prosecutor Hawke, are you prepared for the case? As always, Your Honour. And you, Miss Aquila? The defence is ready, Your Honour. One of these days it's going to be true. Really wish I'd taken up those boys on that volleyball thing. Very well. Mr. Hawke, please state the prosecution's case. With pleasure. Your Honour, the 3 accused individuals were arrested on the night before last at a corner on the Rostro Pass. This is a road one seldom used in winter. It's far to the north, but still within the limits of Fledge City's jurisdiction. The road itself is on the slopes of Wow. I feel like something's wrong with my tongue today. The road itself is on the slopes of the Rostro Spire, the tallest mountain in there should be an inn in there. In the region. And is somewhat infamous for its use in the culture of illicit mountain pass racing. For clarity, this is a form of illegal street racing. Wow. Something is really up with my tongue today. For clarity, this is a form of illegal street racing. When the police arrived, these 3 individuals were found at the site of a driving-related incident. Present at the scene was the body of Clara Mass, herself a street racer. Clara Mass was dead. Additionally, her car, a Mitsuyoto AG88, was badly damaged. This followed many eyewitness reports that these 4 individuals set off from the Rostro Vista parking lot in 4 cars and were taking part in an unsanctioned street race. The prosecution asserts that the other 3 individuals colluded to cause the death of Clara Mass. and we intend to prove this via witness testimony. That's a lie. The Aces would never. Ren, what did we talk about?
Order.
Order. Miss Aquila, is your expert counsel going to be a problem? Nina. I know it's hard, Ren, but if you want to help, you need to keep a lid on it. Okay. I apologize on behalf of my expert, Your Honor. This is his first time in court. There will be no further outbursts. Very well. Thank you, Mr. Hawke, for your summary of the case. Bailiff, please bring in the defendants. Defendants, can you please confirm your name and occupation? Now, I very much don't remember what voices I was using for these guys. Hank Castle, Ace of Hearts. I work as a producer at a TV show. I work at a... wow. I am sorry, this is apparently going to be how my... what it's like today. Words are not good today. I work as a producer at a TV show production company. Keisuke Akagi, Ace of Diamonds. I work as a delivery driver. Jocelyn. Take your time. Jocelyn Montfiore, Ace of Clubs. I work as a studio tech at Fledge City Records. Records? Like, for music? Yes, Your Honor. Bands, singers, that kind of thing. Do not count the number of times I stumble over my words, please. Please don't. I don't need a running count. Your Honor, while each of the defendants has stated their day job for... You've made me self-conscious about it now. I mean, I've made myself self-conscious about it now. While each of the defendants has stated their day job profession, their occupation in this case relates more to their nighttime activities. Each of the people before you is a notorious...
Objection!
Your Honor, the prosecution's use of the word notorious is leading.
Objection!
I simply mean to say they have notoriety within their community. While I can understand Miss Aquila's position, I agree with Mr. Hawke in this particular instance. Overruled, Miss Aquila. Let's not quibble over such fine details at this stage. As I was saying, these three individuals are notorious within Fledge City's illegal street racing scene. Chad's staring at me like he expects me to object to that. Not a chance. They're illegal street racers, that's beyond contention. In fact, each of these people is a leader of one of the city's street racing teams. The prosecution requests, then, that this is recorded as their occupation in addition to their actual job. Really making a meal of this one, aren't you, Chad? The defense does not dispute this, Your Honor. Very well. Please explain in brief while you were up on the rostro spire on the night in question. Your Honor, each year the rostro racers, that is to say the street racers of the rostro spire, compete for the title of Joker. Our Joker is the leader of our community. I see. You're awfully organised, considering that this is all built around the practice of illegal street racing. In any case, the night in question was the night where we had intended to select a new Joker. In some years, this is won on points, where there's a clear candidate based on all the races in the season. This year we required a race-off, an ace race. Race-off? The competition was unusually close this year, which meant that all four of us had to take part. I understand. So in that case, who is this Joker now? Excuse me? Your race was to select a new leader. Who is this leader now? Well... we don't know. When we started the race, Clara was Joker. but the race didn't finish. And Clara's dead. This is an unprecedented situation. The community will probably have to select a new Joker via some other means once this is all over. In that case, street racing, though illegal, is something of a misdemeanor. We'll deal with that at another hearing. But with regards to today's proceedings, the three of you are aware of the charges put forth by the prosecution. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honor. Not guilty, Your Honor. I plead...
Objection!
Your Honor, regarding a matter of protocol. I was wondering when he'd bring this up. Only 2 of the defendants have accepted the services of Aquila Defence and Law. Miss Jocelyn Montfiore did not accept Miss Aquila's offer of counsel. It's improper, therefore, to try them all at the same time. It's unusual, certainly. Miss Aquila, do you have a view on this matter? Your Honour, as Miss Montfiore isn't a lawyer, it is the norm for the city to assign her a public defender. By a lottery process. It is improper for you to suggest it would be your firm just because. Did I hit a nerve? Why doesn't he want me to represent Jocelyn? Your Honour, may I speak? I may be able to resolve this. I request to plead the 5th. The 5th? It means she refuses to testify. And as she hasn't accepted my counsel, I can't advise her about why that's a bad idea. Are you certain, Miss Montfiore? I refuse to enter a formal plea. Very well, you have the right, but... I request that I stand alongside my friends. Surely... Silence, Mr. Hawke. I need a moment to consider this. Please, Judge Tawney. Given the alternatives, the only prudent course is to allow you to stand. However, Miss Montfiore, this is highly irregular. If you're playing games in my courtroom, I'll have you behind bars for contempt so fast you'll think I'm the fastest within Fledge City limits. Am I clear? Crystal, Your Honour. Mr. Castle, Mr. Akagi, Miss Montfiore, the court recognises your plea. Prosecution, bring forth your first witness. Okay, here we go. Huh? Hawke's about to bring out a witness who will give a statement. Listen to it. We have to focus on the little details. We're looking for an inconsistency, a flaw of some kind, which shows the witness is either lying or just mistaken. Don't worry about memorising the statement, though. We'll be able to recap it afterward. Inconsistencies. Got it. Oh, okay. Rhonda voice. Special Traffic Operative Rhonda Haste. Reporting as requested, ma'am. Goodness. Miss Haste, can you please bring it down a notch? And I prefer to be addressed as Your Honour. Apologies, Your Honour. Your Honour, this is Rhonda Haste, Fledge City's most decorated traffic cop. Her record of arrests for highway code violations is peerless in the history of Fledge City PD. I see. In that case, this gives me the chance to pose a question I've been mulling since I became aware of this case. If the activities of the Rostro Racers are so widely known, and obviously illegal, how have they persisted for so long? I guess someone had to ask. Are you implying our work is unsatisfactory? As I'll have you know, I have made arrests that have led to over 400 convictions. Really, I have issued over 8,000 citations. That many? The eastern wing of the Fudge City Children's Hospital is called the Haste Wing. Do you want to know? That's quite enough. Officer Haste, your achievements are quite impressive, but I'm asking a specific question. Why does the racing up on the Rostro Spire persist despite your best efforts? It's because of those damn pen pushers, the penny pinchers at City Hall. Your Honour, if I may. The reason is down to how the police force is budgeted. They can't afford to make it their priority. The Rostro Pass has been unused since the construction of new roads around a decade ago. The racers have taken care to avoid accidents. In fact, the last fatality was back in 1981. Statistically speaking, that makes it one of the safest roads in the city. Officer Haste here has pursued the racers whenever the opportunity arose, but was unable to apprehend the suspects on these occasions. Those were under less than ideal circumstances. I've appealed to the chief multiple times, seeking to mount a sting operation. Those damn bean counters won't let me do my job. These racers are a menace, both to other road users and to themselves. I say, spirited individual for sure. Thank you, officer. Please move on to your statement. Witness statement. I was among the team that was dispatched to the mountain on the day after the incident to assess the scene. It seemed obvious that one of the aces, perhaps more than one, barged Clara's car off the road. Street racing is a dangerous pursuit, and is of no benefit to the community, and those people should be behind bars. I always knew something bad would happen on the mountain, but the PD would never listen. Well, it's on their heads now. Very well, Miss Aquila, you may begin your cross-examination. She seems totally confident in her opinion. Let's shatter that confidence. Alright, time to press all the things.
Hold it!
You weren't among the police who went to the scene on the night of the accident? What are you implying? Oh, I mean, I could take a night off, you know. Nina, sheesh. Everyone needs a night off. There's no need for such a suggestion. Oh, sensitive much? I just wanted to be certain. You came to the scene for the first time on the following day? Yes. I regret my choice of Ronda voice already, but we're gonna stick with it.
Hold it!
Why do you believe that? Surely it's self-evident. In that case, can you walk us through it? Fine. Firstly, we interviewed people who were at the base... Firstly, we interviewed people who were at the base of the course from as early as 8 PM. Nobody passed by going up or down the mountain. That seems unusual in and of itself. Actually, the Highways Department at City Hall have survey data for this taken over a period of several months last year. It suggests that the road is very much disused. Nobody passed by going up or down the mountain. Plus, we know that no one passed the top of the mountain during or immediately after the ace race took place. That means no other vehicles could have been involved. That's true. Dylan and I were there, and no one passed until the police and ambulance showed up. There's one more thing. The Rostro Pass downhill is a single road with no branches or turnoffs. Hey, we know that's not true, right? This is why the Rostro racers use it. Isn't it delightful? Those street racer rogues are sewn up by the very thing that attracted them to the mountain roads of our fair city. Poetic justice. Wait, is that a scam? Something doesn't seem right about what Rhonda just said. Do you feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Yep. Yes, I believe it's important. Very well. Witness, can you please add this to your statement? Right, so this is the one we need to press. We need to put evidence on, but I want to press all the things. So we're gonna press it first. Couldn't someone have used an off-road vehicle to get access to the route? We actually thought of the same possibility, so we looked into it. The bulk of the downhill on one side faces over cliff edges and precipices. You can actually see Fledge City in the distance. Meanwhile, the bulk of the other side is either a steep rise or dense forest. I'm not aware of any route through that.
Hold it!
You seem pretty dead set against the Rostro racers. What sort of traffic cop wouldn't be? They're a great stain on my otherwise flawless career. They're my foil, my nemesis. The antagonist in my one-day-to-be-written biography. Officer, I don't know how to tell you this. We don't even know who you are. The defendants will refrain from speaking during the cross-examination, regardless of how timely and amusing their perspective may be. It was amusing, and I shouldn't have tried to read the judge's line before I laughed at that. I get the impression that this whole situation is a lot more cinematic inside Rhonda Haste's head.
Hold it.
Are you suggesting the Fudge City PD is responsible for this tragedy?
Objection.
Leading question, Your Honor. Sustained, Mr. Hawke. Ms. Aquila, please refrain from asking leading questions. Nice try. It's true that if the police had allowed me to take a more active role, Clara Mass might still be alive today. Still, Fudge City PD didn't kill her. Nina, what's a leading question? Technically in court, you're not meant to ask a question where the question already contains the answer, or if the question overly guides or leads the witness to your conclusion. Sometimes the court lets it slide if the question or answer is unimportant in the grand scheme, but it's technically against the rules. What are you thinking? That Chad has wheeled out Officer Haste to try and open and close this whole thing quickly? Her statement is pretty ironclad on the surface, but vague. That suggests one of her base assumptions is wrong. We just have to find out which one. Alright, we just have to go to the one that we know it is. It's that one, isn't it? The rostro passes one road end to end with no turn-offs. Yeah. That was the one, I think. We had a map, right? Annotated map.
Objection.
Officer Haste, would you say that you know the roads of the Rostro Spire quite well? What sort of question is that? Yes, of course I do. I patrol the area from time to time, so I have a good understanding of all the roads. And what about the trails? The what? The trails, Officer Haste. Pet tracks, used by hikers. Do I look like a park ranger to you? Bingo. In what way is this relevant, Aquila? Who cares about a bunch of hiking paths? Because not all of them are exclusively used by hikers, Chad. Some of them are wide enough for cars. Officer Haste, you may know the roads up on the mountain, but there's one route you didn't account for. Indicated on this map. Impossible! I drove that road up and down as part of my investigation and saw no such turnoff. If I may, the turnoff isn't visible from the road. You have to drive through some foliage in order to get to it. The branches of the bushes are springy, so it's back to normal only moments after someone passes through. I used this dirt trail myself on the evening after the accident in order to access the crime scene. Ridiculous! Why would you have to take such a roundabout route to the crime scene when there's a perfectly good road? Officer Haste, would you care to answer that question? What? Why would she? This is preposterous! I'm an officer of the law and I was following my orders to the letter. Officer Haste, answer the question. Your Honour, in the interests of expediency, Officer Haste would not allow us access to the crime scene. She refused you access. She neglected to inform me of this. While she was following her orders, as she states, I believe that this was an example of malicious compliance. I'm not on trial here. That may be. Still, Miss Haste, those actions are highly unbecoming of a police officer. In any case, what's important is that Officer Haste's statement hinges on that there was no other way to access the course, implying no third party could have been involved. This is simply wrong.
Order.
Yes, I can see the inconsistency. You make a good point, Miss Aquila. Time to push it. In fact, Your Honour, this conclusion suggests the opposite. A third party could have been involved.
Objection!
That seems a leap of logic at this point. Absence of evidence is not evidence. That's a great maxim, Chad. You keep that on your bedroom wall next to the big live, laugh, love poster? That may be true, Chad. But even you can concede that this throws Officer Haste's reliability into question. Your Honour, the prosecution requests to call a new witness. Granted, Mr. Hawke. Officer Haste, you may leave. Before I go, I will say I acted in the best interests of Officer Haste. Yes? Your continued presence here offends me. Get out of my sight. Damn, Chad. Whoa. And you told me that Chad was a stickler for process. I guess we just saw that in action. Much as I dislike him personally, I guess I can respect him. He really does care about justice. Mr. Hawke, please summon your next witness. The prosecution calls Marco West to the stand. That's the photographer, right? Sounds like it. Okay, yeah, I need a voice for a photographer. Fantastic! Absolutely fantastic. Mr. West. Maybe it's the albedo of all the wood. Mr. West. You can't possibly expect me to pass up this opportunity. You are in court. Show some decorum. But the lighting in here, it's marvellous. And the furnishings are so rustic. That may be, but... And every surface in here, every spot, they tell a story of life and death, of the fulcrum around which justice pivots. Why do we never get anyone, well... Is normal the word you're looking for? Yeah. I guess it keeps things interesting. Mr. Marco West, please. Oh my. I had no idea that within this mage of judicial mahogany there would dwell such a delicate sakura petal, with eyes the colour of the sea after the storm. Tell me, what conditioner do you use? You exfoliate. You must exfoliate. Uh-oh. What? Brace yourself. I mean... Keep talking. I don't know what's happening. I guess even judges get thirsty. And your nails! I can almost see my face in them. I've just come from a manicure from a place nearby. I should give them a try. Perhaps we could go together. Judge Tawny? That would be delightful. I think I have that card in my purse. Judge Tawny, please stop fraternizing with my witness. Fair play, Mr. Hawke. Mr. West, Marco, can you please return to the witness stand? With some regret. Please state your name and occupation, for the record. Gladly, Your Honour. I am Marco West, jet-setter, artisan, and photographer. So you travel a great deal for your work? Just when I feel drawn to do so. I like to think of myself as a student of the very concept of beauty in motion. Is the sky for real? My last booking was the Paris fashion show, prior to which I was in Milan. goodness. Marvelous. But with all that, how did you come to be involved on the night in question? Enchanting. While at the Paris fashion show, I received an email about something going on in the mountains here in Fledge City. An email? From whom? It was anonymous, or at least I could not place the name anywhere. An anonymous email? Understand that I am a celebrated artist. I receive odd and unusual fan mail all the time. This one talks about street racing up on the slopes of the Rostre Spire, and it occurred to me that perhaps beauty lay not just in nature or on the catwalk, but in thundering engines and tire-shredding speed. The idea stirred something within me, and I came to Fledge City the following day. Witness, if you don't mind. Can you start to steer this towards why you were up on the mountain on the night that Clara Mass died? Confidence. Astounding. Not long after I arrived, I met up with the Rostra racers up at Rostra Vista parking lot. I believe I first spoke to Hank Castle, who stands before me now. Hi. No, that wasn't my Hank voice. I don't remember what my Hank voice is now. Oh no. But I soon met the others too. In fact, just over 2 weeks ago, I went with the group to a bar called Shin's Place, downtown. I must confess I wanted to see the group dynamic with their guard down. In vino veritas and all that. In fact, I have a picture of the event right here. I see. What did you find? I quickly became fascinated by their culture and strong friendship rooted in their love of speed. Then, when the night was at its peak and all of us were, shall I say, quite merry, Clara told me of a sacred truth that bound them all together, a shared sense of purpose, that she said lay within the heart of the drift. She believed that only a driver can experience this truth, but I wasn't convinced. Gained item, Ace's photo. Nothing can hide from my lens. So, over the following days, I searched for the best place to capture this truth. I soon found that it was on the third hairpin of the course, quite near the finish. Nina, Clara's car. The accident. That was just after the second hairpin. So Marco was just around the corner when it happened? I mean, technically, but the straight between the corners is quite long. There's a few hundred yards between them. The third hairpin is wide and offers a chance for long drifts. So, on the evening in question, I walked up from the end of the course and camped out in that spot, waiting for the race. I was there from around 8 p.m, as sometimes the group has warm-up races, or other members settle their own scores. On that night, though, not a single calf passed me. You weren't bored just sitting there? A little, but I brought my phone and some headphones. I've recently gotten into electro swing. If you had headphones on, you weren't worried that you'd be caught unawares when the cars happened by? I had a radio tuned to the Rostra Racer's frequency. A light on it blinks when they talk, so I thought it a calculated risk. When it blinked, I took off the headphones and got ready to try to snap the ultimate shot. But then something surprising happened, or I should say, didn't happen. What? I waited patiently, but the racers never came into view. Instead, all I heard was the screeching of tyres a bit further up the road. And when I walked up to investigate, I saw this. Order! Order in the court. Apologies for stating what appears to be obvious, but that appears to be the defendants removing Clara's body from her car. This is a wide angle and just a still, but I can tell you that Clara looked very much dead. Gained item, accident photo. That's not... We were just trying... Order. Defendants, please refrain from outbursts during the witness's remarks. Don't worry, guys. We'll straighten all this out yet. The prosecution would like to state that the photo is to be considered alongside Mr. West's statement. In that case, Mr. West, please make your formal statement. Commanding. Marvellous. No problem. Witness statement. As usual during recent races, I was camped out in the third hairpin. I'd been there all evening, no cars had passed by. My radio went off to say that the race had started, and I braced to take pictures. I heard the sound of squealing tyres, but no cars passed. I ran up the side of the road to see what was going on. When I got there, from a distance, I saw the 3 accused around the victim's car. That's when I snapped the photo. I hate to say it, but it looks very suspicious. I wanted to call 911, but the reception was poor. I had to run back to hairpin 3 to make the call. After that, I went home to develop the photograph. I thought it would be important. Thank you, Mr. West. Miss Aquila, please begin your cross-examination. This is strange. Is that photo really compelling evidence? What sort of game are you playing, Chad? Cross-examination. Time to press all the things.
Hold it.
You didn't see anything unusual? Nothing that would raise concern? Not at all. I was pacing to try to keep warm while the snow was falling. He's right, it was particularly cold that night. Hear anything? Sorry, no, I had my headphones on and was listening to music. Anyway, I'd been there for some time when...
Hold it.
What sort of camera do you use? I possess a vast range of bodies and glass. Glass? He's referring to lenses, Aquila. Correct. Are you a photographer, Mr. Hawk? I dabble. But on the particular night in question, I was using a Canon SOE 1000DS with a telelens, a Minpix model.
Hold it.
Why did you pick that moment to run up the course? I've shot this corner multiple times, so I have a pretty good idea of how long it should take. Between hearing the tyre squeal on the previous corner and seeing the cars pass by. It had just been a bit too long and everything went quiet. In truth, it was disconcerting. It made sense to investigate.
Hold it.
You didn't think to call out to them? To get closer and ask what was going on? I wanted to, believe me. But then I saw Hank and Keisuke remove Clara's body from her car, and was hit with a sudden sense of foreboding, like I'd witnessed something I wasn't supposed to see. So instead, I hefted up my camera and...
Hold it.
Why do you say suspicious? You don't think that 3 people crowded around a dead person tends to look suspicious? I don't think... Psst, Nina. Don't forget, you go to crime scenes, you see a lot of dead people. Think about his perspective. He was only watching for long enough to take a picture. Do we have anything that clears up the actions of Hank and the others? What were they really doing?
Hold it.
You didn't look back to see what was going on? Sorry, I must confess, once I started I didn't stop, not even for a moment.
Hold it.
Develop the photograph? You use a film camera? Yes. In this decade? What are you trying to say? It just seems a bit... quaint? Aren't you a professional? My art isn't just in the taking, but in every step of the process. Every moment of sweat and toil contributes to the final image. So many little imperfections at every stage create a kind of organic warmth. Digital works, by comparison, are cold. Where do you even get the materials to develop the pictures? Well, I get them via the internet. What, so digital cameras are out, but online shopping is fine?
Objection!
Your Honour, the nitty-gritty of the witness's process are not on trial here. Sustained. Okay. Oops. I forgot to say a thing. Maki's conclusions, they're totally wrong. I mean, we spent yesterday investigating. We probably know more than he does. Maybe we have some evidence that crushes one of his assumptions. Which is the one about what they were doing. So is that one? I hate to say it, but look very suspicious. That's the one, right? Suspicious. Ah, see, there's the one with the CPR on it. I wasn't sure where it was. Marco, would you say you're an expert in photograph analysis? I have an eye for detail, if that's what you're saying. And by your measure, the photo of the three defendants looks suspicious? Well, given that the three of them today stand accused of murder. Your Honour, while the photograph in question does show the defendants around the body of the accused, it does not show a murder.
Objection!
Are you seriously suggesting it's not of importance? While it may not show the moment of the murder, they're dragging her body from the car.
Objection.
Check the cause of death among the evidence. The liner notes say that Clara's body bore signs that post-mortem someone attempted to give her CPR. That person, by his own admission, was Hank Castle, one of the accused. Yeah. In fact, Your Honour, Marco's statement, while presented honestly, is nothing more than his opinion due to his highly circumstantial perspective. The defence moves that it be disregarded from this case. Is that so? Why does he look so pleased? I've got a bad feeling. I'm forced to agree with Miss Aquila in this instance. While the scene depicted in the photograph may seem suspicious in a certain context, it seems the explanation could be perfectly innocent. Something's not right about this. This photo thing, the CPR and the cause of death. These are far too obvious. Chad doesn't make these sorts of mistakes. That means that it could form part of a body of evidence. It is not, in and of itself, conclusive. Marco West, you may vacate the witness stand. Perhaps I'll see you at that manicure place later. I'll be shocked if we get out of here anywhere near early enough. But tomorrow, perhaps. Mr. Hawke? Yes, Your Honour. It is not often that I express doubt in your skills as a prosecutor. But you made it very clear in this case that the prosecution was pursuing murder in the first degree. As of this moment, I see no evidence of this. Your Honour, may the prosecution make some supplementary remarks? Of course, but please be brief. I don't like the sound of this. It is my belief that anyone, no matter how guilty, can be a decent human being. That they can step forward and have the courage to ask for the mercy of the court. I look upon such people with some respect. But events earlier in this hearing have turned this case into a farce. What do you mean? The prosecution is aware of certain evidence that suggests one person in this court is obstructing justice. What's he talking about? Chad's suggesting someone here isn't telling the truth. What did I miss? They are fully aware of their guilt, but have chosen not to speak up. Perhaps they believe that we would not discover their secret. Or maybe they'd rather drag their friends down with them. So be it. Your Honour, the prosecution would like to call... Your Honour? Yes, defendant? I wish to change my plea. This isn't really the proper time. To nolo contender. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I'm going to go with that. What the hell is she doing? Nina, what's nulla I've got to say it again, damn. Nina, what's nulla contadore? It's nullo contendere. It means no contest. But that would mean that she's admitting to the crime. It's almost like making a confession. Chad must have intended for this to happen all along. Did he get to Jocelyn? Or does he really have compelling evidence? You couldn't. I don't believe it. I can't.
Order. Objection.
Your Honor, I must protest. I don't believe the defendant appreciates the ramifications of...
Objection!
Ask her. What? Ask her what she mean. Ask her what it means. Miss Montfiore? It means the proceedings continue, but I am to be presumed guilty unless proven innocent. She seems to understand perfectly well. Then she should make a statement. Your Honor, the defense wishes to cross-examine Miss Montfiore. I thought you'd never ask. The prosecution would like to call Jocelyn Montfiore to the witness stand. I'm so sorry, Nina, Hank, everyone. Witness, can you describe what happened around the time of Clara Mass's death from your perspective? I hit something. Something? I didn't want to lose. I was so jealous of Clara. She was so perfect. Every gear change, every drift. I went to the mountain that night determined to beat her, no matter the cost. We were approaching the second hairpin and Clara's lights went out. And I knew that was when she would be making her move. I wanted to win. The next thing I knew, I felt a jolt. A jolt? An impact on my passenger's side. Only then did I notice that I'd veered off my line to try and block Clara's path. The next thing I knew, we'd rounded the corner and Clara's car had crashed. I mean, we did hear an impact just prior to the accident. You two, don't be ridiculous. Jocelyn wouldn't hurt a fly. I'm not happy about it either, Hank, but then how do you explain it? I did it. I wanted to beat her. I wanted to win. I killed Clara Mass. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Your Honor, the prosecution wishes to highlight two pieces of evidence. When Clara Mass's car was found, it had extensive damage on the driver's side. Meanwhile, Miss Montfiore's car had significant damage on its passenger side. So that's why Chad was at the police impound. Nina! I gotta say, I agree with Hank. Jocelyn's dedicated, but she's no murderer. Hasn't that ship sailed? She just admitted to it. Not necessarily. The mind is a powerful thing. You can convince yourself the sky is green if you try hard enough. Sometimes, if people are confronted with evidence, they'll join the dots all on their own. She feels guilty, and there's a convincing theory that she is guilty. So she thinks she's guilty. That doesn't make it true. Your Honor? May the defense begin our cross-examination? You may, Miss Aquila. Alright. I remember it like it was a movie scene. I can play it over and over in my head. I looked in my mirror and saw the moment that Clara's headlights went out. I was so determined to block her that I veered to the right and bang! It must have been Clara's AG-88. Moments later, Clara was dead. Oh God, what have I done? I am almost sympathetic, Miss Montfiore. I am sorry that your actions have led you to this point. Ms. Aquila, please begin your cross-examination. I don't believe Jocelyn did it. I believe she believes she did, but I don't think she could commit murder even if she wanted to. There's got to be something which proves it. Or this is all going to be over before it even starts. Oh boy. Alright, let's press all the
Hold it.
things. Sorry, Jocelyn, I'm aware this is very distressing for you. But when we spoke yesterday, you didn't speak in quite so absolute terms. I wasn't sure. It was dark and snowing. I couldn't be certain what I hit at the time. I hoped against hope that when they examined my car, somehow they'd find out it wasn't Clara. But then that prosecutor came to see me last night. And he mentioned about the damage to the cars. I still hoped something would come up today, so I'm finding it hard to accept what I did. Those don't sound like the words of someone who's... If you find fault with my accusation, Aquila, then surely you can present some evidence, not merely conjecture. Sustained. Defendant, please continue.
Hold it.
They just blinked out? That's right. They were on and then blink, they were off. It was dark and with the snow falling, it was like her car vanished into the darkness. It was just like her, improvisational, tactical, brilliant.
Hold it.
But I thought you said you couldn't see her. I was stunned by the sudden sound of the impact, and for a moment I shut my eyes. Then how did you get around the corner? I've driven this road thousands upon thousands of times. I could probably race the whole course blind. But if you didn't see Clara's car at the moment you hit it, you seem to have got the wrong idea, Aquila. It was dark. Both cars were damaged. While it's true Miss Monfiore didn't see the instant of the impact, the point is she's convinced it was Clara's car. Something still seems wrong about this. She's clearly in distress, but I don't think we can learn anything from pushing her even more. Probably best to leave this past first statement well alone. Alright. Chad's practically convinced me at this point. And I still don't believe it for a second. A little bit of conjecture is not going to cut it here. Chad's theory is compelling, and after Jocelyn changed her plea, I need something in the evidence that makes Chad's theory impossible. If I think about everything I've learned yesterday about racing, about the cars, what do I know that Chad probably doesn't? Yeah, it would be hard to tell what you run into if you didn't see much. Right. So, I guess the questions are, which bit of evidence do I need, and which statement do I need? And also, what I really need at the moment is another drink. So, I will be right back. And I'm back. Right, so... not that one. Probably not that. It must have... Okay, this is the one we need to do on, because this is where she's like, it must have been. So... Right, so the... Right, so this is Clara's car, right? Extensive damage to the front right wing. And missing the front right wheel. So that is Clara's driver's side. Clubs. Here. Wait. She veered to the right and hit something. This is damaged on its right side. If she'd veered to the right and hit something, wouldn't the damage be on the left? This must be it.
Objection!
Jocelyn, you said you started to think about this after Chad came to you last night, right? You said he'd shown you compelling evidence about the damage to both your Maverick and Clara's AG-88. That's right? Okay, let's stroke his ego just a bit. I have to admit, this is a clever piece of deduction. Chad, can you explain how you figured it out? With pleasure. The initial statement we received from the defendants mentioned a loud sound, and before that before they saw that Clara had crashed her car. When I visited the police impound, I noticed that Jocelyn's car had extensive damage on its passenger side. While Detective Flatfoot's report from the crash scene showed that Clara's car was damaged on its driver's side. From these facts, I deduced that Miss Montefiore had instigated the crash. There it is! Because the clubs are the only team that drive an American car, and therefore have the driver's side on the opposite side. Chad, can you clarify clarify one thing for me? Of course. You don't drive, do you? No, actually I cycle extensively, or use Fudge City's public transit system. Why? You also haven't seen Clara's car yet, have you, with your own eyes? There was no need. I read Flatfoot's written report. It was comprehensive. Wait, how do you know... Your Honour, the defence would direct the court to look again at two pieces of evidence. Jocelyn Montefiore's Maverick, damaged on its passenger side, and Clara Mass's AG-88, damaged on its driver's side. Oh. Of course! Wow, that's so obvious. But that would mean... Hey, what's the big deal? What are you blabbing about, Aquila? What are you... babbling about, Aquila? Do you know what JDM means, Chad? Because I do! Your Honour, while Jocelyn's car is American, Clara's car is a Japanese domestic model, so its driver is on the right. Meaning that both cars are damaged on their right-hand side. That makes it impossible for Clara's car to have impacted Clara... Did I say Clara instead of Jocelyn? Let's try that one again. That makes it impossible for Jocelyn's car to have impacted Clara's car in the way the prosecution believes. Then, just what did Jocelyn hit on the road? A nocturnal animal? A piece of debris? Who cares?
Objection!
There's absolutely no proof it was anything other than...
Objection!
The absence of evidence is not proof, Chad. She could have hit anything up there, but she couldn't have hit Clara's car. Your Honour, Jocelyn's plea was based on how a piece of evidence suggested it was certain that she was guilty. In fact, as this evidence is proven to be fundamentally flawed, The defense requests that she be permitted to change her plea.
Order.
I must say, this has been an unusual day. But given what has just been pointed out, I'm inclined to agree with Miss Aquila. Miss Monfiore, do you wish to change your plea? Yes, Your Honour. I wish to plead not guilty. As I expected, the court recognises your plea. However, Mr. Hawke, this revelation no doubt has a profound effect on the prosecution's case. Did we do it? Maybe, just maybe. Your Honour, the prosecution requests that you modify the charges we have brought up against the defendants. We wish to retract the charge of murder in the first degree. Yay! Wait for the other shoe to drop. However, in its place, we wish to propose a charge of murder in the second degree. We still also press the charges of murder by reckless endangerment and involuntary manslaughter. Oh, that's what I thought. It is the prosecution's prerogative to remind the court that these charges can still result in capital penalties for all three defendants. Why do I get the feeling we got out of the woods only to wander into the worst part of town? Very well, Mr. Hawke. The court should explain to both benches that the biggest concern, in this case, is that we still lack a clear picture of what took place in the moments leading up to Clara's death. However, Miss Aquila. Yes, Your Honour? Be aware, I will not hesitate to sentence all of the defendants equally, if I feel they are colluding to defuse their guilt. This is in part because the death occurred during an activity that was, by definition, illegal. Understood. As I am unable to render a verdict at this time, I suggest we adjourn for today. Both benches are urged to investigate further and restate their cases. We shall reconvene the day after tomorrow. Court is adjourned. Alright, we made it through the first day of court. Saving time! It's got to be something. Something I've missed. Come on, brain. Think more like Anya. Maybe if I tried to talk and act like her for a bit, I'd think of something. What am I thinking? That's ridiculous. Still... Hey, Nina? Hey. I heard you. Aquila Defense and Law Officers, January 8th, 11:53 AM. The Aces collective down payment just cleared for our services. You want to grab some lunch? Might be fun to eat something other than instant ramen and week-old Chinese food. Sounds good. You got something in mind? I thought maybe the Great Wave. I think you're in love with that place. Hey, what can I say? I like sushi. Besides, it's Thursday and they do an all-you-can-eat special. Okay, you've convinced me. Come see me when you're ready to head out. Ooh, all-you-can-eat sushi. Oh, you can eat sushi. Are you ready to head out? Yep, let's get going. Okay, boss. Sushi, sushi, sushi. Okay. Where's the Great Wave again? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. They moved. The whole restaurant? Yeah, it's near the convenience store now. Not quite sure how that's even possible. Well, it's true. Check your GPS. Yep, that's a wave. Here. The Great Wave Sushi Restaurant. January 8th. It's 12:44 PM. Welcome to the Great Wave. As Flesh City's premier 24-hour sushi restaurant, we pride ourselves on an authentic kaiten sushi experience. We charge by the plate, so it's easy to order as much or as little as you want. We also have a range of specials that you can order a la carte. Is it your first time visiting? Dylan, back again, huh? Hi. 2 for the all-you-can-eat. Oh. Is something wrong? Sorry, but we've moved the day for the all-you-can-eat to Mondays. No way! That makes us 3 whole days late. Shame we didn't come in on Monday. Hardly. We were on our way up to the spire to see Terry's hot dog truck. Right, I guess that would have been the night of the Ace Race accident. Yeah, it's caused some confusion. We've updated our business cards with the new details, though. Yeah, you can put it on a notice board or something back at your office. Gained item, the Great Wave business card. You still want to eat here? Just pay by the plate? We're here now. May as well. That's a fuzzball! There's a fuzzball on that conveyor belt. Wonderful. Let's see now. We are rather busy. Are you okay with sitting at the belt? Sitting up at the belt? Anywhere's fine. Okay, I spot 2 stools free. Just call for me to total up your plates once you've had enough. Thanks. Let's get some chow. Ooh. Should we talk to people? Oh, they're too busy with their sushi to talk to me. Isn't that a familiar face right there? I'm gonna make Dylan sit next to him. Ah! I say familiar face, but I mean familiar hair. What are you thinking? Salmon, some rolls. I think I just saw some fried chicken go past us. I'm gonna wait until we spot some sashimi. Could you pass the ginger? Yeah, just a sec. Whoops. Oh, wow, good catch. Don't mention it. Chadhawk?
No way!
What are you doing here? Eating sushi? Ask a stupid question, I guess. The buzzball's coming around again. If you come here often, I'm surprised we've never run into each other. The prosecutor's office is in this part of town, so I get lunch here sometimes. Still, I'm surprised you would take the time out for a sit-down meal during an active investigation. I'm not a machine, you know. Could have fooled us. It's strange. I've dueled with Chad from across the courtroom so much that I tend to see him as less of a person and more of a cog in Fudge City's judicial system. That's a teddy bear! Ah, of course there's a bear on the conveyor belt. Which is probably a kind of obscure reference to some people. We have little common ground to make small talk. I know he's kind of famous for a case from several years ago. Maybe start with that. How's your investigation going? Excuse you? You think we're gonna share... What? No, no. Even you two are more professional than that. I'm talking about Anya's case. What makes you think I'm still investigating Anya's case? Call it a hunch. Chad, can I ask you something? Go ahead. Did you seriously think that Anya was guilty? Doesn't matter what I thought. Don't give me that crap. You might be a prosecutor, but I'm led to believe you're also a person. Aquila. Nina. I bore Anya no ill will, but the evidence was just too compelling. That's just it. I've reviewed the evidence countless times, looking for some gap, some flaw. Anya was always better at this. She could flip her perspective on a body of evidence as easy as turning over a playing card at a poker table. I was never quite so good at it. No, your style is more improvisational. I'm not sure if that's an insult or a compliment. Coming from him, it could be both. You're quick, Merlot. I like that.
Huh.
Thanks. I think. Aquila, it stuns me that despite your evident talents, the solution eludes you. It's simple logic. Anya has seen all of the evidence that was present at her own trial. So? Ugh, do I have to walk you through it? If that's true, it means applying her methods as an approach is fundamentally flawed. There has to be something which was taken at face value which isn't what it seems. Call it a hidden truth. Yeah, that's a plate of curry that's going around now. Where do you suggest I look? No idea. Is that a plate of chips? Buzzball! And besides, it's not up to me to tell you how to do your job. Check, please. That's 3, 4... Okay, here's your receipt. Please pay at the door on your way out. Oh, Aquila? Taryn didn't believe it. Huh? My boss, the DA, Taryn Kestrel. She's pretty stoic, as I'm sure you know. But when Anya's case came in, she said she found it very hard to believe. Burger. Thanks. See you in court tomorrow. Don't expect a polite chit-chat. Wow. You surprised Chad Hawk has the capacity to be nice? Nice? You call that nice? By his standards. I guess. I'm still processing the idea that he's actually human. Plus, I'm starving. There's some why can I not say sashimi now? And I can say it then. There's some sashimi. Quick, before it gets away. 14 plates. What can I say? I really like salmon. You ready to head up to the spire? Yeah, I'm good to go. Okay, let's get in the car. Car. Nina, Dylan. I've been looking for you guys. Yeah, we just went to get some food. Something's going on up at the spire. Are you guys heading up there now? About to, yes. Great. Mind if I ride up with you? Yeah, no problem. Hop in. Looks like someone's coming up behind us. Pink car. That was Ryoko. You're absolutely certain? Believe me, I can tell. Every racer on the spire has a way of driving. Call it their own unique style. It's unmistakable. Imitating someone else's style would be like copying their whole personality. Is it really that deep? It's just street racing. I didn't understand it either until I got out into the asphalt. I think discovering this is like a shared journey we all take. That's what makes the roster of racers like a family. Puts in perspective why you can't accept that the Aces could be guilty. Yeah. I can't believe that the Aces would try to kill Clara simply to win. Because to an Ace of the roster of racers, it's not about winning. It's not? No. It's about something only true racers really understand. The truth that lurks in the heart of the drift. Pinned item, the heart of the drift. Roster of Vista parking lot, January 8th, 8:42 PM. I might start by grabbing one of those hot dogs. Didn't seem to care. I can't believe you'd... You accusing me? Because if you are, then own it or stow it. Well, maybe I should check that out first. Forgot my voice for a second there. That looks ugly. Let's see what's going on. This bickering is futile. We shouldn't allow ourselves to. Oh, can it, Lance? Can you even see what's going on from under that mask? Hey, leave him alone! I agree. Yeah, no surprises there. What? Always a peacemaker, aren't you, Trey? Always trying to broker the deal. Well, that's not happening this time. That's rich coming from the hearts. This all happened because Hank wanted to try and... You want to go, Cough Boy? Back up before you hurt yourself. Forget it. Come on, guys. Come see us when you're ready to apologize. Same goes for you. Not going to happen. I find all of your attitudes quite distasteful. I'm sorry you guys had to see that. Like a family, huh? Yeah. Does your family get along all the time? I'm an orphan, if you must know. People are just tense. You know about the 1981 incident, right? And you know someone died in a race. Not just that. It brought down the then Joker. They say he left the racing scene never to return again. Almost killed racing on the Spire. And people are worried that'll happen again. I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna head over to the Diamonds area and talk to the guys. See if I turn up anything useful. See you later. Nina? Something's eating at these people. Well, yeah, someone died and their leaders are in custody, and Ren just said, more than that. If these people really are like a family, a loss like Clara should have caused at least some of them to draw together. Instead, it's driven a wedge between them. I think there's something stirring up this kind of animosity. I guess we'll just have to ask them and find out. Let's talk to the kings of all 4 teams and see what we get. And maybe that janitor guy too. Also, maybe the Q. Is the Q gonna say anything different? These are the best hot dogs I've ever tasted. I just keep coming back. Okay. And then this is the usual cussing on the line thing. Okay. God, talk to the kings. Well, you seem very lonely here, Trey. Miss Aquila, Nina, right? You look a little outnumbered. Yeah, it's felt like that for a few nights, so I guess it can't be helped. Can't be helped? Yeah, the Jack and Queen of Spades are on vacation right now. They took their cars and went to Gunma, Japan for a few weeks. They've been planning the trip for years. What's that? Some great mountain roads, believe me. Also some great onsen by the lake. Onsen, you mean hot springs? Yep, it's a dream holiday for a married street racer couple. Gained item, Spades, J and Q, vacation. I hate to ask, but do they know about Clara? I emailed them, so they know. But I gave them strict instructions not to come straight back. Clara would want them to enjoy their time away. Besides, it's better they don't see just how fragmented we've all become. Fragmented? With Clara's death looming over us all, everyone's blaming everyone else. I guess it's only natural. Really? And who do you blame? Honestly? I don't really know. It almost makes it worse. In truth, I pity your task. Why? Because you're defending all of the aces at the same time, and surely someone has to be guilty. Personally, I don't think it's quite so simple. Of course. I just wonder what Clara would say if she saw us like this. Are you holding up okay? I guess I haven't really processed it yet. She was such a big part of the team of the racers. When did you last see her? On the day of the race. I towed her car using my car's tow bar and dropped it off at her place around 6. She was still home, so she greeted me at the door. What did you talk about? Nothing much. The usual banter, asked her if she was ready for the race. Nothing interesting. You say you dropped off Clara's car at her home? Why did you have it in the first place? I always rig up my team's cars on race day. It's like a matter of personal pride. Is it that important? Of course! I'm not just the King of Spades, I'm also the team's mechanic. Even the cars the Spades drive were built by these 2 hands. You've assembled them? Not just from stock parts either. Spades drive a Mitsuyota AG88, but no factory in the world assembles this car. It's a custom hybrid of parts from the AG chassis and 88 line. It's a fusion of 2 cars? That's right, it's the best of both with none of the drawbacks. They must be quite unique. I mean, a lot of street racer groups make hybrid cars like this, but I doubt there are any others within the limits of Fledge City, because only one person here can build them, and that's me. And those are the only ones I've ever built. And that's impressive. Gained item profile Trey Gerson. I firmly believe that when driven well, these cards are unbeatable in any race. I thought Toge Janken racing was about style and spirit, not cars. I like to think it's the best of both. The race, on the night Clara died. Did you see any of it? Unfortunately, I arrived slightly late. I saw him from a distance that the race had started, so I decided to try and grab a hot dog while everyone was distracted. In fact, I believe that's where we met. He's right, we met in the line. Part of me wishes I could have got there sooner. And I keep telling myself that even if I'd been standing around up here, it wouldn't have made a difference. Okay, that's it for Trey. Thanks for talking to us, Trey. Anytime. Try not to judge the others too harshly. We all lost something on that evening. Some handle it better than others. Alright, let's... Which end is king, anyway? You managed to find out what's going on? Not yet. Everyone's super tense. I thought it might be better to give them a little time to chill before I started poking around. You spoke to all 4 of the kings yet? Not yet. Okay, so you're the Jack, aren't you? You're the queen. About the argument. Talk to the king if you want to hear about that. While Casey's in custody, he takes care of that stuff. Alright, so you're the king. Sounds like the team's aren't on the best terms right now. Use all your powers of deduction to work that out? No? Look, I'm trying to help. And I'm trying to keep my team together. I don't have time for some outsider who's working for all sides. Hey! It was your team member who asked me to help in the first place. Yeah, in court, not up here. What's with these people? So the kings are probably at the top, but I want to work from the bottom again. Hey, so... In Siberia we have saying, Chatterbox is treasure to spy. Chatterbox? You mean loose lips sink ships? Da. I have no words for the likes of you. You seriously think I want to talk to you? Maybe. It's been a while. Not long enough. Isn't that a bit much? Mind your own business, Goggle Boy. Hey. Let it go, Dylan. That sounded like a hell of an argument. What do you care? Oh, I'm sorry, we haven't really met. I'm... Mina Aquila, I know who you are. You do? You're representing the aces in court. In that case... Look, this is a roster of races thing. It doesn't concern an outsider like yourself. But nothing to say to you. Even if it could help Hank in court? I doubt it. Rude. Alright, from the bottom here. Hey! Hey yourself! Can you believe this? It's crazy, right? Yeah, it's getting warmer every day. Really unseasonal. Oh, I thought you were talking about the arguments earlier. Oh, that? That's team stuff. Not really your business. At least she's polite about it. Hey, so... Beat it, Cyclops. You're nowhere near metal enough to take up my time. Rude. So, that looked like a real fallout. You think the others will come around eventually? This guy's like a sphinx. No idea what he's thinking, but he doesn't want to talk. Okay, and then we've got the janitor. Hi there. Nina, was it? That's right. Did you see the arguments earlier? Kinda hard to miss it. What do you make of it? Makes me sad to see what losing Clara has reduced them to. I thought they were stronger than this. Think they'll get over it? They're competitive people. So if they don't, I doubt racing up here has a future. Wouldn't that be good for you? Make it easier to keep the place clean? A king with no subjects isn't really a king at all. King? Is that how you see yourself? It's a turn of phrase. Right. This whole thing's a waste of time. Did you find that's anything useful? Nope. Whatever's bugging the kings, I think it's something between them and them alone. Doesn't explain why no one else will talk to us. Oh, that's just because you don't have face. Cred. Kudos. Rep. I get it! But if there's no other way they'll consider talking to us... Oh, this is impossible! Is it? Yeah. Hey, yeah! Wait. With an oil change? Stop. And a tune-up here and there. Oh. Oh no. You're gonna suggest we go Toge Junkin racing? Right. Are you insane? It's the only way, Nina. But seriously, with my car? It's a wreck. There's nothing on four wheels I can't fix. I just need some axle grease, a rag, and a spork. This is happening, isn't it? You just gotta earn a little respect, that's all. But I don't know how to race. And who has time to teach me? I can give you points from the passenger seat, but you'll need to race someone with a vehicle. Isn't there anyone up here who owes you a favor? Oh, that gives me an idea. I don't think a hot dog cart should be drifting. That doesn't seem like a good idea. That seems like a recipe for falling over. Okay, you ready? No? Too bad, let's go. Okay, your first clash. My first what? Focus. You gotta find your driver's spirit, your emotional core, and channel that through the wheel and the pedals. You need to try and overpower the driver's spirit with your own. Wonderful. Could you maybe give a more practical explanation? Fine. This is a clash of spirits. You should focus on one of three emotions. Try to overpower them with your rage, flummox them with your technique, or outrace them with your pure self-belief. They'll respond with their own emotions. Rage beats belief, belief beats technique, and technique beats rage. Wait. It's like rock, paper, scissors? Yeah, that's the Janken in Toge Janken Racing. But then which emotion do I choose? Don't overthink it, just pick one. And find truth in the heart of the drift. Okay, here we go! Belief. Now what? This is a face-off. You overcome the other driver's spirit. Now it's time to drive that victory home. What do I do? You've got a choice. You can glare at them or flash them a smolder. They'll come back with the same. You win by picking the opposite to whatever they pick. If you win, then you can either keep going, or confront, which will bank all the spirit you've earned. Why would I ever confront if I can keep going and score more? Because if you lose all the spirit you've gained in the face-off. Risky. Sure, but if you max out the bar, you'll automatically win the next corner, no more clashes. If you think you can do it, it can be worth the risk. Give it a try, just don't get greedy. Glare. Glare? There again. I'm gonna keep going. I'm risking it. I mean, it's the training one, so it's probably impossible for me to lose or something, right? Time for your first corner. You know how to do a Scandinavian flick? No? Well, let's just cross our fingers and go for it. Flick the wheel to the wrong side to unstick the wheels, then pile on the gas and turn into the corner. See? You're a natural. That actually felt pretty good. Depending on how much spirit you had when you entered the corner, the positions of your car and your opponent's car will change. If you win, you'll move forward. If you lose, your opponent moves forward. Might seem obvious, but you need to be in front at the end of the race in order to win. I might just be coming around to this. I think she likes it. More? Yes, please! Well, belief worked well for us before. Blah. Blah. I'm counting on Scrub to be horrible at this. But I guess a hot dog truck can drift, huh? I saw it do it again. Let's do the same thing. Oh, we got a draw! What happens if we draw in a clash? Neither of you win. You gain power points, or PP. You can't use power right now, but soon, when your own individual racing style starts to emerge, power will allow you to perform special moves. Special moves? For now, though, just know that if you draw, you'll have to try again in the next clash. Right, technique. Blah. Ooh! Okay, we lost that. Right, okay, I see. Technique again? What? No. Should have picked Smolder. Belief. No! Rage. Hilarious. Technique. Belief. Smolder? Yes. Smolder again? A third time? I feel kind of risky. Let's go for confront. Scrub seems to be getting better at this. You're approaching the first of the 4 hairpins. Didn't the Aces mention them back at the detention area? I think so. Nina, these are the most challenging parts of the course. 4 corners in quick succession. Doesn't matter how far ahead or behind you are, you can win or lose the whole race in these corners, so be careful. Got it. Nina, I thought you might want to know. You just passed where Clara's car went off the road. Yeah, I noticed. But I'm kind of busy here. Ooh. Oh no! Scrub! He's catching up! Almost at the finish line. That's the final straight. Never forget, Nina, speed on the final straight counts for extra. In the haze as you approach the finish line, you might just come from behind if you give it your all. Got it. If I give it my all, huh? Okay, that wasn't really my all, was it? Ooh. Little cheapy Dylan. Yay! We won. The tutorial. Now that you've finished the tutorial race, you can choose which race mode you wish to use. There are two modes, Action Racing Mode and Cinematic Racing Mode. In Action Racing Mode, Nina can lose races. You'll need to pay attention for clues about how to win each race. Though you can always retry races, there is no penalty for losing. In Cinematic Racing Mode, Nina will never lose a race unless that loss is important for the story. The game's overall story will play out the same way regardless of your choice, so feel free to choose whichever mode appeals to you. You want action races that will challenge you, or cinematic races that you'll never lose. I like that there's this choice and it doesn't penalise you one way or the other. But I mean, we went for the card gaming one where we could actually lose, so let's go for the race one that we can actually lose as well, even though I'm way less confident in this. You selected Action Race Mode. Races will be challenging and Nina can lose them. Are you sure you wanted action races? Yes, I might change them later if I fuck up. You've selected Action Race Mode. Well done. I just gotta go check up on something. Back in a sec. Well, I survived. I think you did great. Gotta admit, it was kind of fun. Thanks, Kaz. Great news! The Queen of Diamonds is going to allow me to borrow her car. Seeing as how I came here with you, my wheels are back in Fletch City. You want a bit more of a challenge? Bring it! That's what I like to hear. Come and speak to me when you're ready to go. Ooh, we're gonna race. Gonna race against Ren. Queue's still the same length. You ready for a bit more of a challenge? Don't think I'll go easy on you just because you're a beginner. Let's do this. It's time to race. I can still just choose auto race, huh? Right, we need a bit more. Let's just bank it. You're good, but I'm no pushover. What was that accent? I don't. Ooh. Thank it. Not bad. You think so? Ooh. Phew. Let's just take it. Oh, it's not the corner yet. Oh no. Yes, we did it. Got the meter to max. Do you feel it yet? The truth in the heart of the drift? Like the car is an extension of your soul? Oh dear. You're doing SpongeBob references now? What the? What is it? I saw something by the side of the road. Like what? Sorry, it was too fast. Where are you? Just before the sights of Clara's crash. Okay, you focus on the race. I'll try to get down there and have a look around. Good job, Nina, finding potential evidence while in the middle of a street race. Almost there. Ah, lost it. It's fine. This is it. Show me your truth, Nina. Alright, time for final straight, I guess. Ooh. Do. We won! You won! Great race. I gotta admit, this is kind of fun. Nina. Hey Dylan. About that thing you saw just before the site of Clara's crash. Wait, you're back already? Turns out Terry had a beat up moped in the back of his truck, so I just borrowed it for a bit. But that's not important right now. Thing you saw, like a bump at the side of the road? Yeah? It's a waylaid wheel from a car, complete with a flat tire. Okay, nice and waylaid wheel. You found that by the side of the track? That's right. It was probably visible because of the thawing snow. Yeah, it has been a bit warmer these past couple of days. Could this be the wheel that was missing from Clara's crashed car? I don't think so. We found this before the crash site and the track goes downhill. Before the... Huh. What is it, Ren? Well, the track is downhill on the whole. The elevation varies. There's actually a dip on the straight before the crash site. So you're saying this could have rolled back up the track? I'm just saying it's possible. Maybe it came off, struck a tree, and then rolled to where you found it. Okay, alternative theory, this might have been whatever Jocelyn struck on the roads caused an impact. Wow, you're right, it really could be. Good thinking, Dylan. Planets align sometimes. You could be right. Can I have a closer look? The bolts look like they've been shorn off in some kind of accident. But something's just not right about this wheel. Like what? I'm not sure. Can I borrow this from you guys? I'll return it. I just want more time to study it. No problem. You're a vehicle expert after all. Now what? I guess we keep racing? If we're going team by team, the Queen of Diamonds would be next. Then let's get to it. Hello then, Queen of Diamonds. You the Queen of Diamonds? Yep. Hang on. Haven't we met before? I don't think... We have! You were in the line for the hot dog truck a few days ago. You looked concerned about something. What was it? I thought you were going to ask me to race. I warn you though, no one defeats my belief or technique. Powerful belief and technique. That's an oddly specific boast. I'll race anyone who stands in my way. Then I'll make you a deal. If you beat me, then I'll answer your questions. Alright, let's race. Let's go! So powerful belief and technique. Does that mean that, like, she'll always use one of those? I don't remember what trumps what. So should I use rage? 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 Okay, that was a draw though. Wow, she's pretty good. You'll find there's a world of difference between a jack and a queen. You'll need some fire in your belly if you want to beat me. Rage? More rage? She must have a weakness. Has she mentioned anything useful? Something you can use against her? No one can beat my technique or self-belief. Well, yeah, rage seems to be working. Hmm. Hmm. You have spirit. The only style to really achieve greatness on the spire. You're approaching the first of the 4 hairpins. Oh, yeah, sorry, rage stuff. All the rage. Yeah. Ah. It's trying to get it to stop again. Always a rage. That can happen. I meant to confront on that one, but never mind. Whoops. Hmm. I like this music. I like it a lot. This is the final straight, Nina. Hang in there. Ah. We won! Woo! Do 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 do. Wow, Ren wasn't kidding. You're really something. I'm just a beginner. Maybe. But you have strong spirits. Do you mind if I ask you about the other night now? Shoot. You seem to, I don't know, flinch? When it was mentioned that Clara got to the mountain quite late? Well... It's nothing really. Come on, you must have had a reason, no matter how tenacious... Not tenacious, tenacious is the wrong word. Tenuous. Okay. It's really just a tiny thing. Clara has my copy of Dragon Fantasy The Revenge on DVD. I've seen that movie, it's pretty good. But what does that have to do with anything? I wanted to get it back on the night Clara died, so I tried to call her. I tried multiple times from around 6 through to when I left for the mountain at 7:30. But there was no answer. I just assumed she was busy. Gained item, Clara was busy. Not sure what to say about that. Anything we find that can help us build a picture of Clara's movements might come in handy at some point. Thanks. Don't mention it. But you'll have to race the King of Diamonds next, and be warned, he's no pushover. Alright, King of Diamonds. You again? So you're the one who's been rifling through the rest of the Dancing Diamonds. An outsider like you? Not quite sure how to respond to that, but yes, I beat the Jack and Queen. Useless. He seems angry. Maybe I can goad him. You think you could do better? You're all racing in the same car. Don't you know anything? All of us. I mean, each team chooses a car and we all use the same one. That would have been obvious if you'd been paying attention. At least nearly all of us. I guess I had noticed, but I hadn't really thought about it. Why is that? Homologation, or at least that's not the proper word, but it's the term we use. Gained item, homologation. There are rules, etiquette. Being an outsider, you wouldn't know about that, would you? Outsider or not, I want to know why you guys were arguing. No. I want to know what you guys were arguing about earlier. Not gonna happen. Well then, if you weren't listening to me now, maybe you will once I outrank you. Good one. Enjoy the sight of my taillights. Let's race. Let's go. Let's go! Let's race the King of Diamonds. I really need another drink. Vroom, vroom, vroom. It's a good thing this is turn-based. I will be right back. And I'm back again. Right. We don't have a read on this guy yet, do we? Will rage work again? No. Okay. Oh boy, look at that bar. Technique? No, also no. What about my relief? Relief's working. Okay, I need to increase my bar. I didn't mean to hit confront there. Never mind. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I only lost one corner. I can catch up. Still feeling cocky, outsider? What's going on? This guy's tough. Belief? Your belief worked. Will belief work again? Yes. There we go, I'm in front now. I'm totally fired up. Careful you don't burn out. What? Keep up the banter, Nina. Your belief didn't work that time. Excuse me, sir, your bar. Okay, belief has stopped working. Technique. Yes. Okay, can I build the bar? No. Technique? No. This one's gonna be a toughie. I guess I'm just gonna do this by instinct. Rage. Smolder. No. Belief. Glah. Confront. I'm not going down without a fight. You sure you haven't been fighting for too long already? Forget it, you'd never understand. Maybe if you explained what's wrong. You'll have to beat me first. Rage. Technique. No. Belief. Oh no. We're just trading places at this point, huh? You're approaching the first of the 4 hairpins. Belief. Rage. Okay, that should put me back in front again. Rage. And a smolder and confront. We'll just go. We'll just bank it now. Belief. Smolder. 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 Let's risk it. All right, we got a full bar. Woo woo. We also didn't trade positions, so we've actually made some space. We've made some space now. I feel a lot more confident now we have a bit more space. Does he only glare? Seems like he only glares. Right, I still kind of need to win the next corner, I think. And that's the last corner and into the last straight. With what should be plenty of space between us now. I can't let an outsider like you win. This is the final straight, Nina. Hang in there. And there we go. do, 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 do. Yay, we beat the King of Diamonds. That one was a lot more difficult. Yeah, I'm just too in my head today. You okay? I'm just worried about Keisuke and the others. I've been a bit of a tool all evening. As someone who has a job when I see a lot of bereavement and worry, you're coping better than some. Just try not to get so personal with your retorts, maybe? I'm sorry. So, the argument? Yeah. It all started a few weeks ago. Keisuke was approached by an anonymous would-be benefactor who wants to invest in the Dancing Diamonds team. A sponsor? They offered you guys a chance to be a professional motorsport team? That's probably the simplest way of putting it. So what happened? We rejected it, of course. The Dancing Diamonds run free. We're not sellouts. Keisuke took some time to think it over, but in the end we refused. But ever since then, things have been weird. Weird? Tense, I guess. People have had meetings. Quiet meetings. They say they're not coming out to the Spire one evening, like they're going to the gym. But you look online and they're not at the gym. They're with some of the others. It's about trust. That's right. Ever since that damn offer. But this is kind of our internal drama. Maybe. Maybe not. Gained item, buyout refusal, diamonds. Nina! Ryoko? So what do you think you're doing? My job? Don't give me that. Oh god. Think you're a racer just because you learned a thing or two from the diamonds? This is so you. You don't even realize it. With the what now? Hey, Nina's not. Zip it, goggle boy. You got no lines in this play. Okay, that's enough. I'm only racing because I need to find out more to support the case. Whatever this is, I've got no time for it. You want face, huh? Fine. You'll get that jalopy you call a racing car. Then you'll see just how out of your depth you are. Ooh, we're gonna race Ryoko. She's what, Queen of Hearts? Was it Hearts? Alright, Ryoko. Technique. No. And she filled her bar. What the? How'd she get so far ahead? Confused? You should be. It's confusing when something changes right before your eyes. Wait, does she mean... Wow, she's getting real far ahead. There it is again! Is there anything unusual about the corners? Yeah, high-pitched mechanical sound. She must have a turbo on that thing. If she's mastered that... Rage? Nope. I can barely see you back there, Nina. What are you gonna do? Buy a scarf? Cut your hair? Do you seriously want to bring that old argument again? We're supposed to be racing. We? There's only one racer on this track, Nina. And it's not you. Belief. Or technique. I was gonna go for belief, but I guess I went for technique. She's getting real far ahead. I knew it. What? You might have beat the diamonds, but the way you drive is just a mishmash of their styles. You haven't changed at all. And I'm guessing this was meant to lose, so... Oh no! Nina's expression. Oh no. You see what I mean? A racist spirit is inimitable, like a fingerprint. You're no racer. In fact, you're not even a good Anya Miller. Too far, Ryoko. I can't believe you dredged that up after all this time. You expect me to apologize? Because you'll go home disappointed. Don't drag me into this whole drama you racists have going on. Who told you about that? Was it Hank? I have my sources. As if it matters. Saw that little falling out earlier, did you? Some of the people on this mountain just don't get it. You can't resist change. It's like the tides. Stand against it and you'll just get washed away. What? Gained item Hearts Team Mystery. I thought maybe Clara would come around eventually. The Aces brought their arguments out onto the track and now Clara's gone. And mark my words, I'll make them pay for that. Ryoko. Ryoko. I'm not the only one who hasn't changed. That was revealing.
Huh.
I had no idea you were a lesbian. I'm not. Maths. Seriously, Dylan? Bye? That's oversimplifying it, but if I can say yes, we can move on from this discussion. I guess. And I guess I should have realized. I mean, you talk about Anya all the time. Really, Dylan? What did I say? I know you're walking through a bit of a minefield here, but do you have to step on every single mine? Anya and I were close, but not in that way. Oh. So why did you and Ryoko, you know, break up? You've probably seen enough now to work it out for yourself. We only dated for 3 months. About 2 months in, I started working for Miller Defense and Law. It was taking up all of my time. Anya and I were working on my first few cases. It was so exciting. Was Ryoko jealous? Or did she maybe think... No, Ryoko isn't that shallow. But in a way, kinda. She was jealous of my new job, my new life. After a month it came to a head and we had a huge fight. She said I'd changed. Like under Anya's supervision I was becoming a different person. And she didn't like that person. I mean, I've noticed you talk about Anya a lot, like when you're working. Maybe, but it isn't just that. I don't know. Isn't that just, I don't know, normal? She taught me so much about how to be a successful attorney. Ryoko asked me to make a choice, but she just couldn't accept that this is who I am. You say that like you were born to be a lawyer. Born? No. Made. By someone who helped me when no one else would. So... You dumped Ryoko? No one dumped anyone. We had an adult conversation where you dumped her. It wasn't like that. Believe me, it's nearly always like that for someone. Huh. Maybe you're right. Gained item, profile, Ryoko Kamiyama. Nina. Still nothing decisive. What? We found out a lot about the racers and this infighting of theirs. But that kind of makes the aces look worse, not better. Even so. Everyone's gone home for the night. I'm not sure us freezing to death out here will help the aces. You're right. Okay, let's get in the car and head back to the office. I'm guessing even Scrub packed up, huh? Man, we can't get hot dogs today either. It's a Fudge City. Nina, do you hear that? What? Sounds like a car. That's a limo. Is that a limo? At this hour? On this road as well. I know you wanted hot dogs. You've mentioned it every time. Looks like we're not the only ones still here. Ah, Trey's still here. That was his car. Think this might be important? Maybe we can sneak over there. Who could possibly be meeting... What the... Do I... That person... Do I know her? I need a voice for her. Mr. Gearson. You called me, You called me, so I'm here. What did you want? Think she's the person who's offering to make the teams legit? I can't hear what they're saying. Do you want to get closer? Something about her I don't... Psst, Nina! Sorry, was lost in thought for a sec. Closer? Maybe. How could you? You heartless sociopath! Her body's barely cold and... Very well. I can see that now is not the proper time. We will be in touch. The indicator said the flashy thing for the unlocking. That was cool. Nina, are you okay? I don't know. You look wired. You're practically trembling. That's right. My legs feel like jelly. What's wrong? You look as though you've seen a ghost. What if I told you I had? Nina, you're kind of freaking me out. Are you okay? No. It's freezing out here. Give me your keys. I'll drive us back to the office. Aquila Defense and Law Officers, January 9th, 3:21 AM. Wow, that is late/early when we're in court tomorrow, huh? Who? When? This is useless. I've got a trial tomorrow. I need to sleep. I just can't figure out who she is. Oh look, Dylan's crashed on the couch again. But it feels like I should know. Don't know enough to look her up, and I can't describe her well enough to ask the police. That's it. Anya said I shouldn't trust them, so I should be careful. There's someone I can ask when it's an unanswerable question. What did they say last time? Yeah, that was it. I need to use the payphone at the convenience store. Alright, let's not wake up Dylan. Actually, I kind of want to poke him. Poke. Looks like he's fast asleep. I don't want to go alone, but I want to keep Dylan isolated from all of this if I possibly can. Okay, combini. Too far. Combini. Hi, Combini lady. Hello and welcome to Combini. Are you looking for one of our delicious jelly donuts? I thought you specialised in onigiri. Nope, jelly donuts. Right, it's payphone. Call Livewire. What was it again? 555 548 39473. They said to prank them. So I guess now I head to the warehouse? Warehouse. Warehouse on its own. Warehouse number 8, Old Warehouse District, January 9th, 4:27 AM. Livewire? Are you here? They must be here somewhere. Right, let's just move more in. Hello again, Miss Aquila. I've come to talk. I wondered when I might see you again. I hear you're becoming quite the illegal street racer. Tell me, is it exhilarating? More like terrifying. I assume you are not here to ask about racing tips. No. Some time ago you allowed me to borrow a crucial piece of evidence to exonerate Terry Scrub. The Black Lily. That's right. When I returned it, you said I could call on you if I ever needed to. Correct. In that case, I have some unanswerable questions. Tonight, up at the Rostro Spire, there was a woman. That is not unusual. Let me finish. This woman, she was talking to the King of Spades about something. Part of me suspects she's related somehow to how the teams have been approached by a wealthy sponsor. She was wearing a bespoke suit, and I think she was Japanese. Why did you come to ask me this? Her mannerisms, her eyes, there was a coldness to them, and when she appeared, it was like I'd seen a ghost. You know this person? That's just it. I feel like I do. Your memory of her is dim. It's like a shadow of a memory wrapped in a feeling. In a way, when I picture her face, it's like I can picture her more clearly than anyone else I've ever known. More than Anya, more than Dylan. I guess the closest comparison I have are the loose memories of my parents. But just as my mind reaches for her, the memory fizzles out. Like ink washing down a drain. I see. I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd ask you about her. I feel you have asked me a question that only you can answer. Damn. Well, I suppose it was worth a try. But if I am to suggest... Before the game is up, a true master uses every piece on the board. From the loneliest pawn to the mighty queen. Watch for long enough, and perhaps you will identify this piece by its movements. I would be patient. Not quite the answer I was looking for. The prudent moves seldom are. Have you been following the events of the Roster Races trial? Of course you have. Nothing in this case makes sense. Clara was behind, then in front, then dead. And the motives that caused us to lose the race are piling up. You are losing sight of the problem, Miss Aquila. Above the pieces on the board is the hand that moves them. But that hand is connected to the player, and those moves are an extension of their strategy. When a player confronts another, they play. But if the strategy of a player is known beforehand, the game is lost before it is even begun. One of these days, a straight answer would be nice. Before it has begun? Indeed. The true chess maker has a strategy which is flexible and adapts to changing circumstances. You are struggling because I lack the evidence to flip my assumptions, I know. I'm not Anya, she was always better at that. Wrong. What? A novice player may imitate the moves of a grandmaster, but they cannot claim to be a master themselves. Rather, they are just skilled at mimicry. Like some sort of imposter. Very good, Miss Aquila. An imposter may be convincing, but even if they take their master's hat and cloak, they'll just look all the more foolish when they are unmasked. You sound just like Ryoko. You're suggesting I'm imitating Anya and that won't work this time, is that it? I am simply talking about chess. You know, I came here looking for answers, and you've only given me questions. Then I will leave you with one more. The first move in this particular match. Do you know when it was? First move? Does he mean the event that started all of this? That was Clara's death. I mean, I guess I was nearby. Yes, at least I think so. I was at the Rostro Valley Valley? Nope. I was at the Rostro Vista parking lot around the time Clara died. Really? Are you certain? Certain? Well, yeah. The first move. What does that even mean? End of the day, time to save. Yeah, I think we'll do the court day as well. Aquila Defense and Law Officers, January 9th, 8:14 AM. I hope Nina got some sleep. But it wouldn't have been much. That couch is surprisingly comfortable. It's weird, though. Did you go somewhere last night? Oh, about that. I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk around the block. Nina, are you okay? Last night, I don't think I've ever seen you so shaken up. It's fine, really. I heard you mumbling in your sleep. Something about whether you knew with that person. Did you work out who it was? No. But maybe it'll come to me. Either way, we've got a job to do. Okay, but if you want to talk about it... Thanks. You ready for court? Good to go, boss. Let's get to the courthouse. Courthouse. District Courthouse, Courtroom B, January 9th, 8:52 AM. Great. Looks like Ren got here on time. Let's meet up with him and then go to the bench. Hi again. You want me on the bench like last time? That'd be great, Ren. So, what's the plan? First move. I was about to ask the same. Nina? Hey, Space Cadet! Sorry, I was lost in thought there for a sec. What's the plan? I think... Okay, we need to accept something. We don't know for certain how Clara died. Seems like that's stating the obvious. No, not just us three. I'm not sure anyone knows. As far as we're aware, there's no direct evidence which proves a theory. Isn't that bad? Not necessarily. It means that Chad probably doesn't have definitive evidence either. I think I'm starting to get it. Our goal today is to filibuster. We need to be economical. We dispute Chad's witnesses with an aim to securing another day of investigation. Got it? Got it. Okay, boss. Hello again, Miss Aquila. Chad? I've heard you've taken to drifting. Only when the mood suits me. Really? Careful you don't drift right off course. Yeah, well maybe... How does he always time those barbs just before Tawny walks in? Like a gift or something. All rise for the Honourable Judge Tawny. Please be seated. We're here to resume the trial of 3 defendants. Keisuke Akagi, also known as the Ace of Diamonds, Hank Castle, also known as the Ace of Hearts, and Jocelyn Montefiore, also known as the Ace of Clubs. These individuals were involved in actions which led to the death of Clara Mass, a wealthy socialite, also known as the Ace of Spades. At the first trial day, it was agreed that the prosecution would yield the charge of murder in the first degree, i.e. the defendants do not stand accused of premeditated murder. However, they remain accused of several offences, namely murder by reckless endangerment, involuntary manslaughter, as well as murder in the second degree. Your Honour, to be clear, it is still my personal opinion that one of the defendants is guilty of first-degree murder. However, it is true that 2 days ago the opposing bench suggested there was no direct evidence of this. It is therefore the opinion of the prosecution that a non-premeditated murder may have taken place. Non-premeditated what? They're saying that the prosecution still believes that Clara was killed on purpose. So maybe the murder was a snap decision in the moment. Though Chad's continued belief that there was a premeditated murder is troubling. Much as I rarely agree with him, Chad has good instincts. Why does he still believe a first-degree murder took place? We are choosing to pursue a charge of murder in the second degree on that basis. Regardless, I am confident of one thing. Before the end of today, the defendants will be found guilty of at least one of the charges. I'd like to continue, Miss Aquila. Please do, Your Honour. Mr. Hawke, please restate the prosecution's... What was that position? I hit the space bar too many times. Immediately. Your Honour, whilst their earlier pieces of evidence did not sway the court, it remains that Clara Mass is dead. As she died during an illegal street race with the 3 defendants, we believe that at least one of these 3 is directly responsible. As we are lacking in direct evidence, we will instead discuss compelling motives for murder. And we'll do this via witness testimony. Compelling motives, huh? You must have something pretty good. Thank you, Mr. Hawke, for your summary of the case. Bailiff, please bring in the defendants. The three of you are aware of the charges brought forth by the prosecution. How do you plead? Not guilty, Your Honour. Not guilty, Your Honour. Not guilty, Your Honour. Mr. Castle, Mr. Akagi, Miss Mountfiore, the court recognises your plea. Prosecution, bring forth your first witness. Okay, Chad, let's see who you call. The prosecution calls Hank Castle to the stand. Did he just call a defendant as a witness? What's he thinking?
Order.
Me? Hank, but he's a defendant. Nina, can Chad do that? Yes, he can. Being a defendant doesn't preclude you from being a witness. Still... What's your game, Chad? I refuse. Mr. Castle, you can't simply refuse. You don't have that right. You may take the fifth, in which you do, in fact, refuse to testify under oath. But as judge, I would advise that that would not look favourably upon your collective case. Your Honour, may I interject? Hank, as your representation, I strongly advise you testify. You can't ask me to stand against the other aces. I can't. I won't. Hank, remember, this is why Nina's here. It'll be okay. You're being asked to testify, not to accuse anyone. Fine. Let's get it over with. Mr. Castle, can you please confirm your name and occupation as a witness? Hank Castle. During the day, I work for a TV production company. Goodness. What sort of television? Well, right now we're working up a show for one of Try that one again. Well, right now we're working up a show for one of the streaming networks. Based on a popular manga, a Japanese comic strip about a girl. They make shows about girls with magical powers, Your Honour. They're aimed at the preteen female demographic. Chad seemed to come out with that very quickly. At night, I'm the Ace of Hearts, leader of the Burning Hearts, one of the 4 established racing teams up at the Rostro Spire. Would you say then that you knew the victim Clara Mass quite well? We were friends. All of us were. Mr. Castle, is it not more true that you were rivals? I don't see the distinction. You frequently clashed with each other out on the track. Wow, I'm losing my Chad voice. That's different. It's like a conversation between equals. Someone like you wouldn't understand. Cute. I do understand one thing though, Mr. Castle. As Joker, Clara had the casting vote on all issues regarding the Rostro races as a group. That's true. And in that role, there was never any animosity between you? You're digging. Perhaps, but I'm an efficient excavator. There were no disagreements? No bad blood? What do you want me to say? We didn't always see eye to eye. We've been friends for years. Don't you ever fall out with any of your friends? Your Honour? Yes, Mr. Hawke? The prosecution would like Mr. Castle to make a statement about this topic. Namely, his relationship with Clara Mass. Of course. Mr. Castle, are you prepared to make a statement on this topic? Fine. Witness statement. Clara was a unique person. Dynamic, strong-willed, but fair. She led and we followed. Obviously we had a rivalry. We were the aces of rival teams. Sometimes there was animosity, but it was just the life that we led. Very well, Miss Aquila, you may begin your cross-examination. Of course, Your Honor. I don't get it. Chad must feel as though Hank has a skeleton in the closet. I've got to assume that it's something to do with the argument we saw yesterday up at the mountain. Stand against it and you'll just get washed away. Hank's not gonna like it, but we can only deal with problems when we know about them. I trust Hank. I trust all three of the aces. So whatever it is, it can't be as bad as Chad thinks it is. What's he thinking? Cross-examination. Pressing time. Dynamic? Strong-willed? She knew herself and she knew her own mind. Clara might have been wealthy, but her fortune was self-made. Some kind of, I think it was aerospace components. I see. She had a lot of connections to people in and around Fletch City. Businesses, lobbyists, and the like. She was a natural socialite. All very interesting, but I question its relevance. True. Still, a bit of context never hurts anyone.
Hold it.
At Joker, she was your leader, correct? Yeah. Clara as Joker had the casting vote on everything. We're not a democracy, more a meritocracy. Clara was the best, so she made the decisions and we had to fall in line. That's just the way the roster races have always worked ever since the 80s. I think I'm starting to see why Chad wanted Hank on the witness stand. Do you feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Yes. Yes, I believe it's important. Very well. Witness, can you please add this to your statement? Fine. She was the Joker. That means she had the casting vote on all decisions. Yes. Sorry, Hank. And as her friend, you were always happy with her actions? I was. I respected her.
Objection.
Leading question, Your Honor. I am forced to agree, Mr. Hawke. Miss Aquila, you will refrain from phrasing a statement as a question. Also, Mr. Castle, I remind you that you are under oath. Here it comes. We'd had a falling out. We'd been approached by a sponsor, someone who wants to invest in the Burning Hearts. I can't name them for contractual reasons, but who they are isn't really important. And what happened? Aren't you meant to be on my side? Answer the question, Mr. Castle. Clara... She just got in the way. She was so stubborn. Everyone on the mountain wanted to go legit. It was a chance to realize a dream. It offered us a future. But she has this romantic image of us staying independent, driving just for its own reward. It was infuriating. You couldn't collectively outvote her or something? That's not how it works. She was Joker and she'd made her decision. Meaning that to solve your collective problem, you would need to convince her, defeat her, or remove...
Objection!
Your Honor, that's baseless speculation. I agree. Mr. Hawke, please do not speculate. Apologies, Your Honor, but would it not be reasonable to suggest that this forms a basis for a motive? A motive which could apply universally to all three of the aces. Very well. Witness, can you please add this to your statement? Fine. This one, I know I have evidence for. Well, I like pressing all the things, so we're going to do that and then come back around to it. Why do you think she was so obstinate, as you put it? Beats me. It was weird, almost personal. She had some deep-seated desire to keep the roster of races independent. It's admirable, but foolish in the long term. Yep, I'm pressing everything is the strategy. I mean, it literally told me that in the first case, right? That's what Anya taught me to do. Anyway, I felt that mountain racing would eventually come to an end unless we moved on.
Hold it!
Did you ever think that having team-based rivalries might cause a problem? Not really. The teams are a long-held tradition. In truth, though, it's just a professional rivalry. We all hang out, regardless of team affiliation. Some people even date those from other teams.
Hold it!
What sort of animosity? Temporary fallouts, arguments, you know, that sort of thing. But as long as I've been Ace of Hearts, which is about 5 years now, it's always just been little bits of friction, never anything major. Aren't we pushing Hank a bit hard? We're trying to make sure the court doesn't find him guilty. True. But Chad obviously feels there's a motive buried under all of this, and we need to find out what it is. We can only work with what we know. Secrets don't help anyone. Right, so let's get back to that. Everyone on the mountain wanted to go legit. Except that they didn't.
Objection!
Chad? Yes, Aquila. You said earlier that you felt that if Clara had been their obstacle to accepting sponsorship, that this would have been a universal motive for the Aces, correct? I did. Why? Mr. Castle. Hank. Yes? You just said that everyone on the mountain wanted to go legit. But is that really true? It's not. Keisuke? But you said that... I said that the Diamonds wanted to explore avenues that could make us more legit, but I never agreed to selling out to a corporate sponsor. But the club said... We had no strong feelings either way. We wanted to go with the majority.
Order!
Your Honor, the defense asserts that this is far from a universal motive shared among the Aces.
Objection!
Mr. Castle could still have this motive.
Objection!
But we've been over this. Hank's car bore no damage, so there's no evidence he shunted Clara off the road. It's the same for all three of the defendants. We were willing to overlook that for a moment while you proposed a motive that hung upon collusion. But without that, this motive alone is flimsy at best. Mr. Hawke? I must agree with Miss Aquila in this instance. All three of these individuals were in the race, so if one had acted alone, it is reasonable to consider that the others would have seen this happening. If the possibility of collusion has been called into question, that renders this line of inquiry as null and void. Yes, Your Honor. That seems reasonable. Chad looks almost... He looks like he expected that. Not good. Very well, Your Honor. If this witness can't provide a motive that suggests collusion, then I request that we move on to my next witness. One that has posed a far simpler, more insidious motive. Envy. The prosecution calls... How could you? All of you. How could you just stand there and feign innocence? Ryoko, I don't want to hear it. We're just as confused as you are. Yeah, I'm sure. Your Honor? And you? I must protest. Willing to defend these murderers? Breathe, Nina. Don't antagonize her. Ryoko, I appreciate that the last few days have been really hard on you. Oh, come off it. You appreciate nothing. Stop pretending that you understand how I feel. Fine. The three Aces have hired me as their attorney, and I intend to do that job to the utmost of my ability. Even if they're a trio of murderers. This is going nowhere. Your Honor? Yes, Miss Aquila? The defense would like to ask the purpose of calling Ryoko Kamiyama to the stand. Hey! Given that she did not witness the events firsthand, surely anything she has to say is hearsay. Stop it. A fair observation. Mr. Hawke. Your Honor, Miss Kamiyama has taken the stand as a character witness. She contacted the prosecutor's office of her own volition and insisted she be allowed to testify. Stop talking about me like I'm not standing right here. You three aces. You three losers. You just had to be on top. You had to win by any means. I'm not going to let those three of you get away with... No. Those was not the right word. I'm not going to let the three of you get away with it. Why is it you all went into that race with something to lose? Yet somehow I lost the most. She really is hurting. I can hear it in her voice. Be that as it may. To get these proceedings back on track, please state your name and occupation for the record. I'm Ryoko Kamiyama, also known as the Queen of Hearts. I work as a graphic designer for a small independent firm. And you have been in the street racing group for some time? Over a year. I see. Did you know the victim? Yes. Extremely well. I lost her voice a second there. What was I doing for her? Psst, Nina. You think Ryoko and Clara were dating, right? Why doesn't Ryoko just say that? I know Ryoko enough to know that she's out. But maybe Clara wasn't. Oh, I get it. Miss Aquila, do you have something to add? No, Your Honor. Miss Kamiyama, how did you find yourself to be involved in on the night in question? I was up at the mountains the day Clara died, as usual, as part of the Burning Hearts team. In fact, I... Take your time. The race had gone on too long. People started to wonder why. I decided I'd go investigate, but I ran into Trey Gearson, who missed the start of the race. Then Stan Ren, he said that Marco had called the police. Marco was always meddling. I was worried he was trying to disrupt the race to get his perfect photograph. Trey and I decided to drive down the course to see what had happened. We rounded a corner and saw... those three. The defendants? Yes. They were standing over Clara's... Ryoko. Over Clara's body. I see. Then what happened? We argued. Trey and I told those three to back off until the police came. That was when I checked for a pulse. I touched her neck and she was ice cold. Goodness, that soon? It was particularly cold that evening and the body was lying on an icy road. As soon as I touched her, I knew. I knew they'd done it. I may not know how, but I know why. In that case, Miss Kamiyama, please make your formal statement. All of you, each of you envied Clara. None of you could hold a candle to her, and deep down you knew it. Hank, you could never match her in the corners. Jocelyn, you could never beat her on the straights. Keisuke, you could never match her shifting skills. You saw a chance to eliminate her. It's just too convenient to be a coincidence. I don't get it. She didn't say anything about Clara's death, at least nothing concrete. How can she testify like that? Chance already said she's here as a character witness. It means she's just working off her first-hand knowledge of the people involved. The judge will weigh it up as less than truly relevant evidence. But as our clients are on shaky ground, it might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Thank you, Miss Kamiyama. Miss Aquila, please begin your cross-examination. Gladly, Your Honor. Ryoko, I can see you're in pain. Anyone in your position would be. I can't help but feel that after today, we might never speak again. But I won't let your anger jeopardize my clients' lives. They didn't kill Clara, can't you see that? Incidentally, chat, if you have any theories on who did kill Clara, let me know.
Hold it.
Your Honor? Yes, Miss Aquila? Are we to take these statements at face value?
Objection!
She's a character witness, Aquila. She still needs to qualify her statements. Otherwise, she could just say anything. Oh, you need receipts? Examples? We've got plenty.
Hold it.
Isn't Hank the ace of hearts? Oh, he's good, alright. But Hank's hot-blooded nature was never... You're out of line, Ryoko. Control yourself, Mr. Castle. See what I mean? Clara had immense mental discipline. She was always calm under pressure, which translated to beautiful, smooth cornering. Hank couldn't begin to understand the depth of her skill.
Hold it.
The rest of the club seemed to respect Jocelyn. Those had-beens, they haven't fielded a joker in years. Jocelyn's a weak person, and that makes her weak on the throttle. Oh, how can you just say such awful things? Oh wow, she's practically crying just from that. Clara was the strongest person I've ever known. No speed terrified her. If in doubt, flat out. Jocelyn's driving was a pale imitation at best.
Hold it.
The other diamonds would disagree with your assessment of Keisuke. That's just it. My assessment, my analysis. There's no formula for a perfect racer. I beg to differ. Really, Keisuke? Then how come you weren't Joker? In fact, the more I think about it, you all just treated her as a rival when she thought of you as her friend. And you betrayed her. Do you feel this is important, Miss Aquila? Yes, I feel it's important. Very well. Witness, could you please add this to your statement? No problem. I don't think any of you showed her one moment of true friendship. You used her.
Hold it.
That's a baseless argument. She can't just sit there and opine. It's her opinion as a character witness. But surely... The court recognizes that this is merely the witness's opinion. Well, that's something at least. But still, Ryoko's angry and that's clouding her judgment. It seems obvious that any impartial observer... It seems obvious... Shouldn't that be a 2? It seems obvious to any impartial observer that the four aces really were friends. Do I have any evidence that shows that? Yes, I do, but I was pressing all the things. Oh, whoops. This is character assassination. Who knew Ryoko could be so vindictive? Still, she's angry and angry people make mistakes. Maybe if I keep her talking, we can find something we can refute with evidence. I forgot to press the last statement because I thought we were done. Back? There we go.
Hold it.
Your Honor? Yes, Miss Aquila? Oh no, wait, we did this one already. That's not the last one. I want the last one. That one.
Hold it.
Your Honor, I must protest. This goes beyond mere opinion. It's a blatant accusation of guilt. I agree. Miss Kamiyama, please refrain from making baseless accusations. Okay. Right. Now we go back to the thing we have evidence for. This one. We want this picture of them all being friends.
Objection.
Ryoko? What? The aces were never friends? Never. Really? Not for a single moment. Are you certain? Miss Aquila, is that a photograph? Yes, Your Honor. Taken not so long ago by Marco West. So? Ryoko, do you think the other aces are good actors? What? The affection in the photo, it looks awfully convincing. What does that have to do with anything? Ryoko, why do you believe that the Aces were only pretending to be Clara's friends? Because they wanted to be on top. They all wanted to be Joker no matter the cost. That's what Toyo Janken Racing is all about. Yes, this is important. Wait a second. We have a press it first. I mean... Would you? What? Would you step on someone to be the best? Obviously. If that's how things are done. Is that really how the roster races are? Okay, back to that one. And we present our evidence. Because is that what the roster race is really about? Not really. T, is it? The Heart of the Drift. That's what it's about, right?
Objection!
Ryoko. You're so wrong. What are you talking about? Every racer wants to win. It's true that every Toga Janken racer would like to be the... Nope. It's true that every Toga Janken racer would like to be the best. But that's not the real reason why they race. That's right. Racing's about learning about yourself through challenging others. It's about understanding the ultimate emotion. It's about seeing something in others that they don't even see in themselves. It isn't about winning, really. It's about the truth. Sorry, it's about truth. The truth that lies in the heart of the drift. Ugh. You can't seriously. Really? You've only known about Toga Janken racing for less than a week. Sanctimonious, patronizing. This is so you. Maybe, but... Sorry, Ryoko, but I have to do this. In that time, I've learned a lot. Most importantly, though, the way you describe the attitude of the races is wrong. Was Toga Janken racing just a challenge to you? You were so eager to go legit in order to be the best. But Clara was determined not to let the races sell out. Don't you dare! I'm forced to ask. Are you sure you knew Clara as well as you thought you did? Screw this! Hey, you prosecutor! Huh? I want to leave. I'm done here. That's crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to dismiss Miss Kamiyama. Granted. Miss Kamiyama, you are free to go. Though before you do, you should know that the city offers a variety of options for grief counselling. Not in a million years. Nina? Yeah? This isn't over. Mr. Hawke, do you have any more witnesses to bring before the court? No, Your Honor. However, the prosecution's charges against the defendants remain the same. Murder in the second degree, murder by reckless endangerment, and involuntary manslaughter. While the opposite bench disputed some aspects of the motives proposed, the facts are indisputable. Clara Mass is dead. A fair observation. Nina! Is there anything we can do? Does any of your evidence... Ren? Yeah. Have a little faith. We managed to dispute the motives pretty well. So if we've crushed the charge of second-degree murder, should I push for a mistrial? Chad's wearing his poker face. What's he thinking? Hey, Nina? Now we've disputed those motives for the murder charge. Can't we push to, I don't know, dispute the charge of murder in the second degree? Won't that make things simpler? Aquila. Far be it from me to tell you how to do your job. But aren't you going to propose a mistrial for the murder 2 charge? Think about it. If we got the judge to agree to a mistrial, we'd be left with 2 charges instead of 3. But what did Chad say at the start of all this again? Before the end of today, the defendants will be found guilty of at least 1 of the charges. He must have a strong reason to believe that. And the fact that he suggested it alone makes me concerned. Okay, then what do we do? Push for mistrial or don't? I'm thinking don't, because Chad's got something up his sleeve, right? So don't push. If we get Tawny to dismiss the murder in the second degree, the remaining charges are simpler and might just result in a summary judgment. Tawny might just pronounce the aces as guilty on the spot. Clever trap, Chad. This one is rather troubling. Miss Aquila? Yes, Your Honor? I would like to see the photograph again. The one you presented earlier. Of course. But why? You said this was taken by Marco? Yes, Your Honor. He really is a master of his craft. Their affection, all 5 of them. It looks so genuine. The court has made its decision. Counsel will be granted further time to investigate, and we will reconvene the day after tomorrow. Yeah! Woohoo! Your Honor, why? The defendant's motives are disputed and the evidence remains inconclusive. Mr. Hawke? Yes? If direct evidence is not forthcoming, I can only suggest you are more creative with your sources. As you personally do not drive, it might be wise to follow Miss Aquila's example and find an expert witness. Follow my example? No, only this moment could last forever. As for the defense, while Miss Aquila's arguments today were persuasive against the statements of these particular witnesses, it still has not changed the fact that the defendants were involved in a dangerous activity with the deceased. A reasonable person would consider them in some way responsible for her death. Miss Aquila. Yes, Your Honor? Do not forget. In accordance with the 3-day statute, I will render a verdict at the end of the next trial day. Short of a significant change in the facts of this case, your clients stand in a very precarious position. I am sympathetic to your case, but do not test the limits of my sympathy. We shall reconvene the day after tomorrow. Court is adjourned. And save file, save file. And with that, looking at the time, I think it's time to finish up for today. Also looking at the state of my throat. It's a lot of talking, this one. So we'll come back to this one next week and finish up the case, I think, because we've only got one more trial day left, so it's one investigation day, one trial day, and then we're done. So we should be able to do that next time. If you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, consider subscribing to the channel or follow me on Twitter. The schedule for the week is on a pinned post at the top of my Twitter. The next scheduled stream is on Sunday, and that's back to Danganronpa again. You know, more trials. It's all trials right now. Hope to see you there, or some other time. And once again, thanks for coming, and this is Kalla signing off. See ya. Bye bye.